Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Millionaire Man Cave right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RETV. We appreciate y'all for tuning in because y'all could have chosen to be anywhere, but y'all chose to be right here with us. Actually, it ain't squad else on TV tonight. I realize that. I don't know if y'all realize that, but it ain't squad else on TV tonight on a Tuesday night for several reasons. But we'll get into that a little bit later because there's a lot to talk about. It is a special Tuesday for more than one reason. But, again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I couldn't do the show without the people who are on the screen with me right now. As always, my man, Millionaire Mike, my brother from another mother, is in the building with us. What's going on, Mike? Hanging outside tonight with the Count Chocolate shirt on. Well, that's the Count. That's the Count. That's
from
the Count.
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. What's good with you, Mike?
One orgasm.
Two orgasms.
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Out here, literally chilling because it's a cool night. So hopefully I don't get too cold. I might disappear and get a sweatshirt on instead of the t-shirt under my jacket. But for right now, I'm okay.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. How the weather just be changing, man. It's gonna mess around and get a lot of people sick, man.
Fall. That's how fall is in the mid-Atlantic states, because even up as far as Maryland.
Up in New York, and my man who live in Chicago said last week it was like almost damn near 80 up there last week. So, hey, they don't, usually. What is this dude doing?
Darnell, you must have put your finger over the mic or something. It sounded like you were scratching
the mic. He's like, right. Nah, but he was saying it was like damn near 80 last week up in Chicago. I'm saying that ain't last long because it get cold up there quick. So
no bull.
Yeah, so
that's why I'm not quick to go to a Chicago game.
Yeah, I feel you. Me and Donnell was about to make that move earlier this year, and I think it would have wanted to be in like in the 40s or something like that at that game, 40s, 50s.
Ooh,
and then turn right back around and be warm again like 2-3 days later. So I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Speaking of Donnell, Mr. DMV, what's going on, Mr. Reasonable, in the building over there doing the DJ scratching? What's good with you, Donnell?
For a scratch.
I'm good. I voted for legalizing marijuana in Maryland.
Yes, sir.
We need to get on a federal ballot.
Look, I'm not getting caught up like Willie Lump Lump.
You ain't got a medicinal card because it's medicinally legal in Maryland, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's medicinally legal in Maryland, and it's actually recreational legally in DC. Anyway, but which is crazy considering from my understanding, like if you want any federal land in DC, it's completely illegal. But
wait,
because
did you say if you're on any federal land?
I thought all land
all of DC was federal land.
Well, your private property, you can have it on your private property, but if you on if you in the parks,
as soon as you come out on the street,
as soon as you come out on the street, then you it's a wrap. But if you got it on your private property, you can do whatever you want.
I ain't know DC had private property.
If you a homeowner, well, technically, none of us own our properties, no matter what state you live in, because they damn sure tax the crap out of us if you own a home or anything else for that matter.
But I thought DC was different.
How so?
In what aspect?
Like if they wanted to build a road where your house sit, they have to like figure out a way to move it because it's technically not your land.
Interesting.
So
I never
like
heard
like you can buy land in Maryland. You can't buy
Right.
land in DC.
Oh.
Okay, so what you just buy the building, the house, the property in which it sits on does not belong to you?
It's federal land.
That's
God,
interesting.
did not realize that. Did
Yeah,
not
I
realize
didn't either. As
So smoking
expensive as
inside
those
your house.
houses are.
Smoking inside your house, just don't go outside on your front step because you got on your side of your front step. That is no longer your property. It is belongs to the property of the government.
So it's recreational behind closed doors.
Pretty much. I did not know that. I didn't realize that, supposedly, what's going on? MacArthur, Mike got me last week. MacArthur, what's going on? What's going on with you? Appreciate you for tuning in. But no, I didn't know that, Donnell. But what's good with you, though? You good this week?
You talk to me?
Yeah.
Donnell,
Oh.
Reason, a.k.a.,
well, hey, you already know. You already know would be singing me the blues during the week. You know what I'm saying? But today I'm good.
You came to learn. What you come to learn? We're doing pretty good. We actually going through introductions right now. What's going on, John? My man John is in Mr. AKA Mr. PC. What's going on, John? How you feeling?
I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's Tuesday. I feel like Tuesday come quick. And I'm actually happy for it because I need this time, kind of release some energy, you know what I'm saying? And but it's good. Everything is all right. You know what I'm saying? It is definitely gotten colder here in the DMV. Okay. And it's pretty chilly outside right now, but it's all good. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Actually, MacArthur, it's hard for me because it says MacArthur. If I'm saying that right, we actually talking about family or work today. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but while we do with the normal show, we chop it up a little bit about what's going on in the news, what's going on in social media, what's going on around the world, and then we actually get into a little bit of everything else a little bit later. We got the word to the wise, and then question of the week and all that other stuff. You see, Millionaire, yo, brother. So I don't know if you know this explanation. Let me give you the explanation behind the word millionaire or behind the even the title of the show. We haven't given that explanation out in a while for those who may be absolutely new. Matter of fact, for those who are new, you can actually watch Millionaire Man Cave on RETV on your YouTube channel. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in via YouTube. My man MacArthur is actually joining us via LinkedIn. So we appreciate you for joining in via LinkedIn. We got Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth. So you can watch all the RETV shows there. But make sure you can also download the app. You can check us out on the website. You can actually watch on the website as well. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns, all of that good stuff for question of the week, any of that stuff, you can send it all into info@re-tv.net, info@re-tv.net. And then don't forget, you can also watch us on the Roku as well. So you can actually see what's going on there. He said, yeah, my bad. That's how you pronounce it, MacArthur. Hey. I get you. My bad. I completely understand. But no, so my man Black, who you actually used to be on the show with us, he's actually still part of the show, from a distance. But my man Black, who actually used to be on the show with us, actually threw in the millionaire part. We was actually we've been doing this show. We way over 100 episodes now. We've been doing this show for about 3-4 years now. And we were just Millionaire. We were just actually Man Cave, which was a spinoff of the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. For those who don't know, we wanted to give, like John said, we wanted to give the fellas an opportunity to have a spot to get some positive content, get some things off their chest, just the typical stuff you do behind the closed doors of a man cave, just your typical man cave. We wanted to give the world an opportunity to see what goes on, just a small little snippet of what actually goes on behind the man cave. But considering the fact of all the people who we have on the show, whether it's me and my co-host, I'm a co-host, I'm Ty, I'm here, I actually own and run RETV, but me and my co-host, Mr. Reasonable, Mr. PC, Millionaire Mike, we all have well over $1 million of information and knowledge and wisdom within that we share each and every week right here on Millionaire Man Cave. That's where question of the week comes in. That's where, a lot of the stuff that we discussed during this, during the start of the show, comes in. So we decided to throw the millionaire part in there because we want to save you, $1 million from making the same mistakes that we may have made. And the same thing, you can also share with us as well some of the things that, some of the mistakes or some of the wisdom that you have as well. So please feel free to share this with your family, just with your friends, comment, send questions, all of that good stuff. So that's how the show rolls each and every week. Speaking of which, as I mentioned earlier today is a special Tuesday. It is Election Tuesday. It is Election Tuesday. It is. Hey, Mike, you got a son that's voting age. Did he get the opportunity to vote?
So we want to make sure that he had his absentee ballot, but we kind of slept on that. So yeah, I don't think he voted today.
Hey, Donnell,
he would have had to vote in this area, and he's not here.
Yeah, and that's the reason I asked that question, because we messed around and did the same thing. I texted my son earlier today and asked him, was like, yo, did you vote? And he was like, I ain't vote yet. And I'm like, vote yet? Ninja, it's today. There is no other day for you to vote. You could have voted earlier, but after today, you ain't gonna vote until for another 2 years. He was like, oh, I thought it was like multiple days.
He could have probably did an absentee ballot.
But we didn't realize to get him the absentee ballot, so he could have voted.
That's kind of what happened to us. We slept on it and realized, hey, we should have got him an absentee.
So I got a question for y'all though.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't pretend to know a ton about this whole thing. I know a little bit about it. Don't some places have same day registration? Like they can,
they
you know what I'm saying? Like you can technically, if they spend most of their year at a different place, because that's where they go to school, they could get registered in that place and vote in some places the same day.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know about that part. Because
I don't know what it is in North Carolina. But I mean, but in general, in some places where they have same day registration, as long as you have like mail that's coming to that place, I guess you got to be a bill or something
and
your
ID.
ID, you should be able to get registered. And that's why some places they go on college campuses and register students to vote, because they can register them to vote right in that area. Like, it actually changes the game for a lot of college towns in terms of how people vote, and they end up being very democratic, even though the places outside of that college town may not be.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Oh, but I should say very liberal. I should say very liberal. So
that's exactly what I did when I went to Winston. When I went to Winston, I did, I did it for multiple reasons. I was trying to get in-state tuition for starters. So I changed my ID and I changed my license. I had, I had a North Carolina address and everything. So I was able to vote, in North Carolina. Say what now?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
My name's Mike. My name's Mike from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I was able to vote. All my years in North Carolina. For the simple fact that I had, like you said, I changed over my ID. I had to change over my address, all that good stuff. Because one, like I said, I was trying to get in-state tuition, and I was just trying to make it work, in North Carolina. So, but me and Mike both got sons that are in different states outside of North Carolina. My son is in Virginia, and Mike's son is down in South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina. So I don't know what the laws are or how it actually works, in either one of them places. But like you said, Mike, I'm with you. We actually slept on it, and which we should not have, but we actually slept on it, and unfortunately, my son didn't get opportunity to vote. This would have been his first time voting as well.
So I'm gonna ask another question.
What's up?
Is that your responsibility?
I think it is.
Yes and no.
They are adults.
True, but you got to learn at some point. You got to learn something.
What they need to learn is that they need to register their asses to vote. Not that mommy and daddy need to take care of it. That's what they need to learn.
So
mine are registered. Mine is registered to vote in North Carolina.
Yeah, same here. Mine's registered to vote.
But it's also their response. This is what I'm saying. So let's say, God forbid, and not God forbid, let's say y'all decide to move to a different state. You move to a different state. Mike, you move to a different state. Ty, you move to a different state. Whose job is it to make sure you are registered in that state?
Oh, it's mine. If I move, but I feel like, all right, I get what you're saying. I completely
understand. Don't stop it. Stop. Stop. Don't do that.
This nigga try to reprimand me on the show. I keep talking to one of his damn kids.
I'm just saying, there's no way to talk around this. You know what I'm saying? Once they hit 18, they are adults. They need to take care of the stuff themselves, or else you're gonna be taking care of it forever.
No,
Like,
I get that.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
cool,
they going the next 4 years, wherever they at, wherever they go to school, they there for 4 years. And you know what happens? Every 2 years,
Election.
they need to vote.
Right.
And they shouldn't.
Every year. Shit.
No.
It's not just every 2 years, it's every year. Because there's different things that are up for ballots every year. So
true. I'm not debating what you're saying, John. I agree with what you're saying wholeheartedly. But my thing is, how do they know to do that?
Because we live in a democracy.
How do they know?
My assumption is they did go to school. They went to high school. Now they're in college. So at some point they learned about the democratic voting system.
True. But
even if you ain't never seen nothing other than I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill, like
they too young for that. They too young for that.
You know what
I'm
saying?
too young
like,
for that.
Show them that junk. You know what I'm saying?
They too young for that. So when you went to school, that was one of the first things on your mind. Oh, I need to go register to vote wherever I am, so that way I can be a part of.
I definitely registered.
So life lesson.
That's why your name is.
You can't
Mr.
complain
PC.
about who's in office or how it affects you if you don't go vote.
I'm with you 110%. I'm with you 110%, Donnell. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying, as a parent, I think it is our responsibility not to get them to register, but to at least inform them, hey, this is something you need to do, so that way you can get it taken care of.
Well,
You're not doing that at 18.
Right. You do that when they're young. You take them to the polls with you. You know what I'm saying? When they old enough to understand, you take them to the polls with you. You explain to them what you're doing that day. You explain to them what after the fact, before the fact, all that stuff. Like that's leading up. That's the 18 years leading up to that.
Agree.
Okay.
I get you.
All right. So here's my thing. They are adults, but they're not adults. They are learning.
They can go die for their country, sir. They can buy cigarettes.
If you go down to
they can make babies, they are adults.
Any psychological person, they will tell you that their brains are still developing. That's why they can't drink until they're 21.
What they gotta do with registering to vote?
That's what because they don't.
They can take a test in school. They can waste your money in college. Like
they don't necessarily.
Who actually waits till 21 to actually have a drink?
That's the legal age because that's when your mind is mature.
Yeah, I mean,
but
that's debatable.
It is debatable because in Europe you can drink at 18.
Hell, in
the European brain ain't no different than our brain.
14.
In Jamaica, you can drink at 16, like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And in Europe, it's 18.
But they have found that the brains are still developing until they, hit probably somewhere around 21. But my thing is that when they hit 18, they're still learning. They're still learning.
John, like, and I think this is very, I'm gonna just say comical in a sense, that, you know what I mean? Like what I have been saying to you guys, like on the group chats, how I refuse to take responsibility for what my sons is not doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to rationalize because in no offense, Ty, Mike, like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like you guys are taking a bunt of why your sons, did or didn't vote. Like I don't know.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
But like I refuse to be that parent. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at the end of the day, like at what point do you take the, titty out the mouth? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But when do you cut that umbilical cord and say, like regardless of how, you know what I'm saying, if it's 18 or not, like at 18, you are an adult. You get registered to vote. You can serve in the military. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. So why make excuses?
I don't look at it as an excuse. I look at it as this way. At 18, you are a young adult. You are still learning. It is my responsibility as a parent to help you along the way, not to do it for you, but it is because you don't know everything. Like I'm 41. I still don't know everything. I still think it's still stuff that I learned from my mother, or I learned from my father, or I learned from even y'all for that matter, that I don't know as a grown ass man. So I feel like as a parent, it is my responsibility to continue to teach my child, regardless of whether they're 18, regardless of whether they're 15, regardless of whether they're 21 or 51. It's my responsibility to be able to teach you things that you may need to learn. Can I take responsibility for it? No, I'm not taking responsibility for the fact he didn't vote. That's on him, like you said. But should I have been like, yo, did you register where you are, or did you come home and do it? I'm not saying no, I should have sent you a mail-in ballot, or I should have made you come home, or I should have gave you this. Nah, but I should have been like, yo, did you, hey, election coming up, make sure you take care of what you got to do, and left it at that, because then at that point in time, it's on him and it's in his court. I think that's a big problem that we have as a community, honestly, that we feel like once our kids get 18, it's like F you out on your own, fend for yourself. Why? Why are we doing that? Like,
a lot of people do that.
Look, I think you're taking it to the extreme on this.
No, a lot of people do that.
You are right. You are right. You are right. A lot of people do that. As a matter of fact, I feel like that happened to me. But what we are saying here in this moment is not that we are putting the kids in a position where we're saying you push them out the nest and you fly. What we are saying is they have to take responsibility for the things that they have to be responsible for. And right. So voting is their responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It is not the same thing. It's their right. It's their right. And that is not just their right, but I believe it is a responsibility. I believe everybody has a responsibility to go out and vote and change the things that they want to change. And if they don't want to change anything, then they also have the right to not do nothing. And it's not at a certain point, you have to, as Donnell said it, I love that, pop the titty out their mouth. They got to grow up. You know what I'm saying? They have to be able to do it on their own. And
I was just going to say, it's no different from a sporting event. You know what I'm saying? Ty, your son play football. Mike, your son play soccer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if they forget their mouthpiece or their soccer cleats, you know what I'm saying? Who's responsible for them?
Right.
Are you reminding them that they have everything that they need for the game?
Yeah. No, but again, Donnell, understand. Understand this, Donnell. If your child just turned 18, so if he's playing soccer, if he's playing football for years and years and years and years, he's had practice, like John said, raise them up, raise them up so that way they know what they can do when they get older. But if he's just turning 18 and it's just now his first time and his first opportunity to vote, and you don't say, yo, did you go, hey, it's time to vote. I'm not saying I'm dragging you to the polls with me. I'm not saying here's the daggone ballot, you got to fill it out. No, I'm just saying, yo, it's time to vote. Make sure you know when to vote. Because like I said, for my son didn't even realize, he knew it was time to vote, but he thought, yo, I got time to vote. But that wasn't the case.
So this is where this is what blows me about that. This is pause. This is what upsets me about what you just said, Ty. Because what you are explaining is a situation of your son not having done his research on his situation where he is. Now imagine if he didn't do that when it came to looking at colleges or studying for tests, if he didn't prepare for the upcoming event, right? If he didn't prepare for his test, his quiz, whatever, and he just showed up that day, like, I ain't know I had it that day. Is that an excuse?
No, that's on him. That's something he's been doing.
Exactly. Same thing with voting, sir.
It is something he's been doing.
They've been talking about this for weeks. For months.
But is it something he's been doing for all of his life, or something he's just doing for the first time?
Bro, it don't matter. They've been talking about it for months.
See that? So to me, Ty, that's like saying that you haven't been grooming him to, you know what I'm saying, to start voting when he's of age to do so.
So shame on you.
And I'm still grooming.
Shame on me.
I'm still grooming.
Shame on me, because no, I haven't. Do I know he's gone to the polls before with his mother? Yeah, but has he gone with me? No, he hasn't. So maybe shame on me for not taking him to the polls with me. And I'll take that. I'll take that responsibility. But again, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm going to be like, yo, you 18 now. I ain't got to tell you nothing. You can see it on TV or figure it out for your damn self.
Nobody's saying that.
I just said it's been on TV for the past couple weeks.
It has. He's not lying.
So why? So what I'm saying,
and not only that, is no matter what you watch.
Is,
look, Ty, I don't even watch TV, sir. and I get ads on my phone telling me that
I don't know
voting
what that
day,
man get.
messages.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
that
day,
man
God,
get.
it's the
I know he
bloater.
got them
I
Jones
don't know
because
what
I
that
get them.
man get. I don't
I
know
know,
what that man
but he
get.
don't have to get them. Even if he just on YouTube watching videos, Facebook. I know he don't use Facebook. Instagram,
The
they
book.
got ads on there. The local dude who running for board of education, I was like, how this nigga got money to pay for ads? He a teacher. He got ads running on my phone on YouTube. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Everybody, it's everywhere. You don't even have to have cable or none of that. TV
I feel
never
like
turn on.
I feel like I'm still teaching my son after he's 18, and I give that grace period, from, like I said, 18 to about 21, that I personally am trying to make sure that I give him those little extras now. You're an adult, fly, but at the same time, I need to let you know how to fly, that you have to flap your wings. I'm not just going to push you out like you were saying, but those flapping the wings are different little things, like voting, like going to pay for your own tires. When you're tired, you need new tires. How to go in and how to research the tire places to make sure you're getting a good deal. These are things that I'm giving to him now that he's on his own, so to speak, but he's still learning.
I got you, Mike.
That's how I feel.
I don't care what Donnell and John say. Nah.
All right, so last question. The last question. At what point, well, let's just say he's 21 and he still has not, has voted. And what if he says, I just don't want to vote? At what point do you say, all right?
I said it way before 21. I said it way before 21 because you can vote at 18. So if you choose not to vote between 18 and 21, I'm not, like Mike said 21. That's Mike's time.
That's me.
Mike can answer that specifically. But my thing is, if I let you know one time and that's your thing, and you chose not to vote, not to register, any of that, that's your prerogative. As an independent person, you can, if you choose not to vote, bro. Like you said, don't complain about the situations, about what's going on around you. I don't want to see you, oh, well, we should have, or this president should have, and this judge should have, or we should be able to do. Well, you should have been able to vote. You should have voted.
Okay.
Because I feel like at that point in time, you've been told at least once as an adult that this is what you should be doing, or you have the opportunity to do it. And if you choose not to do it from that point on, then yeah, that's on you. Hey, trust me. After this, he gets no more. Hey, did you vote for me? He gets no more. Did you vote for me?
So
I still get
did
3 years. I still get did you vote for my mother?
Really?
Yeah.
Yo,
literally.
I don't even want to talk about my mother. I got mad at her because she out there voting, and now she voting against the marijuana thing in Maryland. But this is the thing. This is what really upset me. Right? It's like I remember when they had the thing on the ballot about the casinos. She was all for that. I was like, so you all for losing your money to the casinos, but you don't want to get these people out of jail who do, who for marijuana charges and stuff like that. You worried about what's happening for marijuana, but you all about losing your money at the casinos. Right?
Non-violent crimes.
It was. But John, you said it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, and I told you I voted for it, but just like how you get upset about when your neighbors used to smoke and your kids outside. Yeah. All we doing is saying we can do it now. What you gonna do about it?
I mean, it's still. I'm still gonna say something to him. Be like, look, the kids is out here playing in the little pool out back.
You can't have it both ways, brother.
Just take it, just let us have our moment, and then you come back and you can smoke all you want. You can smoke yourself into oblivion. I don't care. Like, see how niggas do.
Neighborly.
No, that's just being neighborly. Thank you, Mike. It's being neighborly. It's not. I would whether it was legal or not. I would never call the police on somebody who was outside smoking. You know what I'm saying? All I would ask is that
if you live in a townhome and your neighbor playing loud music, that's not being neighborly. But you can do. It's not against the law to do it.
You're right, because we was up till 2:00 the other night for my birthday. Y'all missed it. You missed it, man. We thought that don't.
A1 cent better than the other.
I mean, I didn't realize what time it was. I was like, ooh.
Did anybody come knocking on your door, John?
Nah, they know better than that because we don't do nothing like that.
They was
normally.
being
We just be
neighborly, huh?
chilling. We just be chilling normally.
John was being neighborly.
I'm quiet. I'm a quiet neighbor. Until I ain't.
That one time
Until I ain't.
Right, until you went to that one time, exactly.
Right.
But I'm with you though. I am tired. I will say, John, you are right. There. It has been a ton of stuff on TV. Like you said, I'm tired of the phone calls, the text messages. All this. I'm tired of the commercials. That is the one reason I'm so tired of them election years. I will say, Mike, you're right. They do. Election is every year, but it is not. It is not this bad until what's going on. What's going on, Chef? It is not that bad. It's not that bad until election year comes around. When election year comes around, midterms and presidential elections, they blow up your phone. And like you said, I'm trying to figure out how y'all got my number, how you got me, how you texted
I got a text message from President Obama.
Seriously.
Well,
did you text him back?
I would have, because they be asking, they be like, "Yo, we need to vote. Can we get your money? Can we get your time?" I be like, "No," and I said literally, I sent them all the damn spam.
You should say, "Let me see what this $40 can do."
You stupid. As a matter of fact, the reason I said there ain't nothing else on TV tonight because they even suspended all NBA games. They suspended all NBA games tonight because they had a bunch of them yesterday, but they suspended all of them tonight. So that way, there's no excuse for people to be able to go out there and vote. I know it's like at least 7 or 8, maybe 10 arenas within the NBA that they're actually using as voting facilities, and that was actually a part of the agreement that they did a couple years ago with LeBron James and a few others that actually wanted to use NBA arenas and so forth as a place for people to be able to go vote.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but it's crazy though because there is still hockey on. But other than that, they're like they suspended all NBA games, things like that, so people can have the opportunity to go vote. So whatever it is that's in your in your community, I say you go vote. Matter of fact, I actually posed a question earlier on RETV asking if there's anything. I know Donnell just mentioned earlier about the whole marijuana thing in Maryland. But then let's say you had the opportunity to put something on the ballot that you wanted the American people to vote for. What would you possibly put on the ballot for the American people to vote for if you could?
For like a federal thing or state and local?
Either.
So for me, it'd be federal and it would be marijuana.
Okay.
I think marijuana should be legal federally. That way you're not dealing with what state you could go to, what city, whatever, you can just, it'll be like alcohol.
Gotcha. All right. John, Donnell?
I don't know. I was about to give you some little known fact about how marijuana became illegal in the first place.
How so?
It's because companies that make fibers and ropes decided that they didn't want to deal with the hemp that was cheaper being brought out as a rival to what they were making. And so they decided that it needed to be illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started off as just hemp in general being illegal. Then they decided to make it not just illegal for that purpose, but also try to make it racist by having like the Reefer Madness, video and that whole thing. The fact that there was a whole video made to make something illegal is
did you
quite
see some
amazing.
Of the commercials that they did back in the day with it?
Yeah, so like that whole thing is quite interesting. Like I didn't know about that. Yeah, it's all about and I was having a conversation with my mother when she said that she voted against it. I was like, at one point alcohol was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And people was killing each other over alcohol. I was like, as soon as stuff become legal, it ain't worth the fight no more. So people ain't fighting over it no more.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. I don't particularly have anything on my mind right now. that I can think of. I for the most part, I'm not even a big fan of the voting system because I'm not sure that I believe it works the way that we would like it to work. I believe we should vote. I believe we should all vote, but I'm not sure
how far it goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think we need. You know what I would like to see on the ballot? A limit of how old people can be to run for a office. Like you should not be independents and running for office.
Hey, you can be younger and have a bladder problem. You can be 65 and have a bladder problem.
I mean, just saying, I know you got a age on the younger end. There should also be one on the older end. Should be a cap.
Now I will say this about that though, John. I'm actually scared for not just our future, but our kids and our kids' future, because I know we talked about this in our chat, a little bit, but it seems like our kids seem to get more lazier. Like their drive is not there. Their ambition is not there. So if they're not, and I know that's not all the kids, but if they are having a lack of ambition, a lack of drive now, I wonder what it would be like later, like as they continue to get older. Like that's the part that actually scares me for the future. Honestly, I petition to remove the filibuster. That's a good one. That's a good one. I agree with that one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, Nicole.
I mean, but I hear you on that, Ty, and I think that you're right. Like the kids are, but I also think it's not necessarily laziness. I think we live in a time when there's so much doom and gloom that the kids don't think that anything matters. And so
desensitized stuff.
I think that goes for so many parts. Like when we were growing up, and I hate to say it because make it sound like we super old, right? But like nobody thought of student loans as this doom and gloom, right? Like you took out loans and you paid loans back, right? That was what you did. Like if you had to take out a loan for school, that's what you did. But now it's like, oh, you can't live your life after you take out the student loans. You got $100,000 in debt. Like your life is over. Like, and so the kids don't want to do it. They don't want nothing to do with it. And so why would you want to live that way? Right? Because they made it so doom and gloom. So
Gotcha. Chef Tony said, would love to an itemized list of spending for child support receivers. Man, Chef. Man, Chef, you be setting a lot of people up.
Did you see that? Did you see that video of the judge who was who awarded to the father?
Like, and it was a woman judge. It was a lady judge. And
the woman was sitting there. She was like, "I'm about to get paid," and then she's like, "No, that's how much you're going to pay." Like,
exactly.
That John threw me. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Hey, you got anything down there?
It's a lot, bro. I feel like they should disclose. I feel like they should disclose how the government spends federal funding.
Okay.
And I feel like the government shouldn't decide, like when the military goes to war, like when they start sending money to different countries.
Yeah,
vote on that because it's a lot of poverty in our country. And in my opinion, you can't say we ain't got the money.
I'm with you there.
Shoot, my property value in Prince George's County shouldn't be no different from Fairfax County.
Okay.
Wow. Or DC for that matter, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like law enforcement should go through an extensive background check. I can go on and on, but I'll just leave it at that.
I want to put daylight saving time on there because we hit daylight saving time last weekend and it is killing a lot of us. It is like, how the hell?
You got an extra hour of sleep.
Say what?
You should have got an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, but come on now. How you go from getting dark at like 8:30, 9 o'clock to now getting dark at like 5:30 in the
Because
afternoon?
it makes the days longer.
I get, but
when you wake up in the morning, it's daylight, right?
Pretty much.
I have to tell you, I did not like waking up in the dark.
Versus when you wake up in the dark, like it's just your mood is just different. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like,
difference though.
Places that don't exercise it, I'm gonna tell you, like I promise you, I was in Spain when I realized this. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here watching TV and I'm looking out the window. I'm thinking it's like 8 o'clock in the evening. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still daylight outside. And I looked at the clock. I said, "This can't be right." Like it was late as hell. But in the in the morning time, it's dark, and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I would rather drive into work when it's daylight outside than it be dark. You know what I mean?
So you rather be dark than come home in the evening?
Huh?
I'm dark. I'm dark every time I come home.
Shut up. Shut up, John. So you rather it be dark in the evening? Not you personally.
Yeah, maybe because it's we're the earth is doing something, right? Like we are farther away from. Are we closer or further? I can't remember, but you know what I'm saying. The days are going to get shorter anyway. That's why they do it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it was done specifically for farmers, so farmers could have that daylight to be able to do what they need to be able to do in order to have crops and all that good stuff, so on and so forth. But I just think it just messes with a lot of people at the same time. But I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I get what you're saying, wholeheartedly. So yeah, shut up. John.
Could you imagine if you live near the North Pole where they get 4 months of darkness?
Yeah, man.
Or people who live in like certain parts of Alaska or whatnot who get like almost damn near 24 hours of daylight, and they got to have blackout curtains in order for them to even be able to get some sleep at night. If you can't sleep with with light on or whatnot. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Now I don't know if I could do that. Either one of them, 4 months of darkness or 24 hours of daylight. I don't know which one I'd rather have. I think I'd probably rather have the daylight. I'm with you there. I like you said down there. I'd rather have the daylight because it messes with your mood. If you have more light, and you can ask my thing. I'm a proponent of light. I open blinds, I open curtains. Now we're gonna keep the light switches off because we're trying to save electricity, but I open blinds, I open curtains, all that stuff. I'm like, get some light is energy in my opinion. So
it is.
I definitely believe in getting some of that sunlight. I was gonna say what vitamin it is, but one of y'all need to grow up.
Vitamin B is vitamin. I ain't worried about
that. Get that D.
I be giving out all the D now.
And on that note, John, we go into commercial.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Tune in to Millionaire Man Cave, only on Relationship and Entertainment Television, Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Millionaire Man Cave right here on Tuesdays, as you just said, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on RETV, Relationship Entertainment Television. Again, y'all could have chose to be anywhere, but y'all chose to be right here with us. And so we very much appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all are on YouTube, make sure y'all subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel, so that way you can watch Millionaire Man Cave there, along with the other shows that come on RETV. Don't forget, you can also download the Roku RETV Live app on Roku, so that way you can watch on Roku as well. The website, re-tv.net, info@re-tv is where you want to send your questions, your comments, your concerns, all of that good stuff each and every week. Don't forget, I think most polls, if I'm not mistaken, closed around 7:30 p.m. So if y'all are watching this and y'all are not on the Eastern or Central at this point in time, I think it's like 7:40, quarter to 8 in Central Time. But if y'all are like Mountain Time and Pacific Time, y'all can still got opportunity to go out there and vote. As Donnell said earlier, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to say nothing about anything that goes on that had anything to do with voting in the first place. So make sure you exercise your right to vote, and y'all make sure y'all go out there and vote, no matter what's on the ballot, or no matter who's on the ballot. Pick something. Pick somebody and do your research. Don't just pick anybody, but do your research and actually figure out, who to vote for and what for, because it does affect you. Midterms affects you probably a lot more than the regular presidential election. So make sure y'all do your research and go out there and vote before it's too late if you haven't already done so. You're on the East Coast, and you probably sitting got the CNN or MSNBC or NBC or whatever on TV now, looking at all the results coming and so forth. A lot of places won't actually get their results back for quite some time. They still got to tally up all the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots and all that other stuff. But make sure y'all go out there and vote if you have not had an opportunity to do so. Hey, Donnell, it's that time of the night for Word to the Wise. I gave my word to the wise. What you got there, buddy?
I got your word to the wise. I got the word to the wise. Ladies, this is for y'all legging wearers. You know what I'm saying? Ladies. Y'all leggings be too small. You want to know how we know? Because in the back, your butt, you know what I'm saying? The joints start fading away. Like them joints are too small. I can see your drawers. You feel me? I can see your drawers. Get a bigger size tight. You know what I mean? Like, I know they too small when you bought them, but I can see your underwear. Shame on you.
And joints are stretched out to the max.
They stretched out to the max, bro.
I was told this though, Donnell. I was told it's not the fact that they stretched out; they just cheap as hell. They got them dollar store types that they be wearing, thinking they cute. They yoga pants. I was told they cheap as hell.
Nah.
That the thread count would actually.
They done rubbed all the material off of it. You know how to heal your sock. You know what I'm saying? You got to heal your sock, and you wear too much. Like
if it ain't see through the whole thing, where you know what I'm saying, the most parts where it's stretched, that is where it started getting faded.
Somebody called you, and you must know Donnell for real. You Petty Murphy.
Petty Murphy.
Yeah, but then they be mad because when you turn around and look, you be like, "Yo," but you showing your ass to everybody and them super thin ass tights you got on.
Like I can see the hearts on your underwear.
Because you got a low thread count.
It is a low ass thread count in your damn tight.
Your tights.
Get some better tights. Or get some bigger tights. I don't know about y'all, but y'all ever seen the chick with some baggy ass tights on?
Oh my
yes. Oh my god.
Like,
yes.
You know what? I don't even know what to say about that.
It's not attractive.
It's unappealing.
Y'all ever seen underwear with like half the joint is in the butt cheek, and the other half is inside the cheek, inside the crack?
Donnell stupid. Donnell stupid. You stupid for that. Some people like this. Some people like
why
this.
Why they uneven like that?
She got a half wedgie up in her tail.
They're fighting for a location.
She got yams. She got the yams.
Stupid. Yeah, y'all stupid. 8. What do you say? Oh, baggy. Yeah, baggy tights. No,
baggy tights.
Baggy tights. No baggy tights
syndrome. That ain't cool.
at all. It is not cool at all. Hey yo, so it was another question I seen on that was posted actually on the RETV and the Millionaire Man Cave group. If y'all are actually men, fellas, there is a Millionaire Man Cave group out there that you can actually go be a part of. If you actually want to be a part of the Millionaire Man Cave group, go out there, search up Millionaire Man Cave, and you can actually join the Millionaire Man Cave group. It is for men only. Ladies, y'all cannot join. This is y'all's only sneak peek into Millionaire Man Cave is right here during the show each and every Tuesday. But there was another question that was actually posted out there this week, and it was, what is something you consider unforgivable? A lot of times we forgive people for a lot of crap, but what is something that you consider that's unforgivable? I'll start with a couple people that's actually posted out there. I ain't gonna get names because it is Millionaire Man Cave. But somebody said lying on me, using the victim role to make your wrongs look right is something they consider unforgivable. What do y'all consider as unforgivable?
Well, I think I am a very forgiving person. My wife calls me too forgiving sometimes. So that's a hard, difficult one for me. But I'd say if you tried to kill me.
Why you make that face though?
Take it to the extreme.
Why you make that face though? Hey, that's true.
Like, yeah, if you want that insurance money, you try to kill me. That's unforgivable.
Oh, so you speaking to your wife or your kids? You say that insurance.
Well, I'm taking this in a relationship standpoint,
Okay.
But if we're not talking relationship, then I can think of some other things. But relationship wise, it's hard for me not to forgive you unless you just keep doing the same shit over and over and over,
Gotcha.
or you try to kill me.
Gotcha. Somebody else said lying to their children is something they consider unforgivable. Lying to their kids is unforgivable.
I mean, everybody lie to their kids when they're young. Like, I mean, no, seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? You talk about the Easter Bunny. You talk about, you know what I'm saying? You talk about Santa Claus. Like, that's all lying to your kids. Like, what?
Mommy was in there praising the Lord. She wasn't there.
Biological fathers.
Right. Right?
That part.
Like, that's your uncle. No, that's my daddy. Why you been lying all these years? That's not my uncle. That's my daddy over there.
Exactly.
Why? I didn't know that was my daddy all this time.
What would y'all consider? What would y'all consider as unforgivable?
I would probably say do something to traumatize my kids to the point where it's going to affect them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Intentional or unintentional? Because what if somebody do something that's unintentional? Would you still be unforgivable?
Hey, I will. Never mind. I ain't making no threats on this RETV.
You talking about specifically?
It can and will be held against you in a court of law. I
I get you, but I'm just saying, like, so do your kids do haunted houses?
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Like, traumatizing.
No. I mean, they done. So my friend, he just did like the Six Flags Haunted Fest.
No, the reason I asked is because, like, what'd you say, John?
I said you don't got to go in the house.
Ooh.
You get traumatized.
Go ahead and ask that question, Ty, because I'm gonna tell you. So I was at the Six Flags. I was at the Six Flags with them, right? I wasn't with them, but I was at the Six Flags, and the kid. So true story, like he was trying to like jump at me or buck at me, and he swung his fist, and I turned around. I said, "You better be glad you missed, because I'd have gave him all that smoke." You know what I'm saying? Because he came. I promise he came this close. Like he came this close, but you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he did that on purpose.
Probably so. But that's why I asked. I mean, well, in that case, he probably did do it on purpose. But when you go to haunted houses and stuff like that, they scare you. And that's the intent of going in. But you don't know if that could potentially traumatize your child by them going in there and seeing something that scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, that's your fault for taking them in there. You called.
But if they say, "Well, Daddy, I want to, Daddy, I want to go," and I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, you think it's a fun thing, but it can be traumatizing at the same time. So if it's unintentional, then I can be like, all right, I think it's a little bit more room for forgiveness with the unintentional part rather than somebody doing something on purpose. Yeah, I'm with you all day long right there.
Okay.
But I mean, that was just, I get you. I get what you're saying. John, you got anything?
I mean, I would probably stick to the on purpose part of it. Like, I also feel some kind of way about people taking stuff from me. Like, I mean, I for me, honestly, that's unforgivable because I believe myself to be the type of person that I don't hold on to things to the point where I feel like I hold things in high regard. Like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody needs something, like, if I have it to give, I'm gonna give it. But if you ask me and I have it to give, I'm gonna give it. But if you're gonna steal it from me, then that's unforgivable. Because, like, I feel like people taking stuff from me, stuff that I work for, hard earned stuff, that's unforgivable to me. Like,
I stole your earbuds when we was in Detroit. I'm sorry.
You can keep them. Shit, keep them down. Please keep them. Don't give them back. I don't want that. If you put them in your ear, you can have them.
I don't understand why people do that. You steal people's earbuds, and they done been in somebody's ear. 9 times out of 10, you look at it, you be like, "Damn, do you clean your ears?" Yeah, that's.
But I mean, but stuff like that, like if you're gonna take something from me like that, I feel like that's unforgivable because it's not. I am the type of person that if you ask for it, if I have it to give, it's yours.
Okay. What do you define as unforgivable? Because I feel like there's situations that you can be in where you might be able to let go of that situation, but it's, you know what I'm saying, you'll never be like cool as you used to be or tight as you used to be.
I think honestly, it's subjective. Like you just said, it could be something different for you than it is for me versus Mike or Donnell. I mean, Mike and John or whatever situation. Now, me personally, I take unforgivable as I just can't fool with you no more. Period. You do something to me, I just cannot fool with you at all. I could probably be cordial. I could probably go, "What's up?" and then keep it moving. That's about it. If maybe not even that. It is what I consider to be unforgivable. Maybe not even that. And I think the best answer came in Millionaire Man Cave where somebody said the thing that they consider the most be unforgivable is liking the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Unforgivable.
That is definitely unforgivable.
Unforgivable. Yes, kill yourself.
I also go ahead.
What'd you say, Donna?
Nothing. I was just gonna say you like stars, don't you? It's like no.
Oh.
Stupid.
I go back, you know what I'm saying? We had it in the chat. Like if your significant other cheat on you and they put that joint on on camera and send it to you, like, yo, that is
man.
All you gotta do, just tell me, like, okay, you cheated on me. That's all. Don't get back at me by like videotaping and sending it to me.
That girl didn't even videotape. She FaceTime
in the middle.
Wow, she was getting her back blown
by getting at her mother, man. Come on, like we had this discussion.
What if her mother ain't somebody?
What if her mother ain't giving it up?
Or you don't want to get it?
That's true. She got a sister.
Mother looked like Flo from Mother looked like Flo from Good Time.
Or you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna tell you, put that $40 out there and pull her hair back.
See what it catch.
Pull her hair back. Wait, never mind. That's the shot you want. Like you kiss your mother with them lips.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this commercial so we can get into the question of the week. Question of the week we got coming up next, y'all. Stay tuned for that.
Hey, it's your girl Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.
Well, they do that, cause we do that though. I see you talking, so we gon' take it though. And yeah, talking cheap, so don't do that though. My click 100 deep.
We are everywhere, but right now we on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RETV. Make sure y'all tune in each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. As I mentioned earlier, if y'all have not had the opportunity to do it, you are in Mountain Time or Pacific Time, make sure y'all get out there and actually go vote. Vote, do your research, go figure out who the hell you want to vote for, but actually go out there and vote. It's killing me. I'm sitting there looking at what's this, NBC News, and it's people actually voting for Herschel Walker, y'all. Like, like this dude is like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, I really want to know what some people think when they vote for the people who they vote for. Like, to each his own. Everybody, I don't think we should all think alike. It's all about thinking together, to make the world a better place. But it's just I'm curious to know why people vote for some of the people they vote for, and people can ask the same question about whoever we vote for. Why did you vote for whoever you vote for? And that's that's your prerogative. But certain people, I'm just like, yo, like for real, like y'all don't think dude got some issues going on? That I don't know, whatever. That's
I'll tell you what it is though. I was having this conversation at work. Is that it's those voters who have no idea who they want to vote for. And when they see the commercials, like the attack ads, like that swings them in one direction over the other.
And that's so sad.
And it's and that is where the money comes into play in a big way. Like the fact that Herschel Walker is even running in
speak
in Georgia. The fact that he's been running in Georgia, he's not from Georgia,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They literally brought him in to run in this election because they knew that there was no white person that was going to be able to run against Warnock and even be competition. So they went and they found a black person that was willing to do it, who they thought would be famous enough to stand out, not realizing what his background was like. And then the Republicans are just they dirty. Like they just go out there and they pull up all kinds of nonsense, make stuff up. Like it's crazy.
Which is actually illegal. You can't just make stuff up. Supposedly, you have to have some sort of basis of where some of this, some of your facts are. And it's actually dangerous because even here in North Carolina, there was an ad where a dude was actually on a jet ski in front of another dude's house, on the lake or whatever. And the dude actually sued. It was like, yo, I didn't get permission to have my house in the background of your ad or this political ad.
Snap.
Yeah, political thing saying that, I did X, Y, and Z, basically saying that was him on a jet ski. He was like, no, you can't, represent me in that way. So anyway, who you about to say, Donnell?
No, I say Herschel Walker actually is from Georgia.
Oh, is he?
He wasn't living. I'm saying he wasn't living in Georgia right before. But you're right. He is from Georgia. He wasn't living in Georgia.
Same with Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz don't live in Pennsylvania, and and he running in Pennsylvania. Right. So he don't realize that if he wins, that he got to move his ass to Pennsylvania. So I don't know. I don't understand how that works, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. I think that's dangerous though, in my opinion. Them smear campaigns and so forth, because you running on facts that may not be completely fully true.
Yeah, they catch the people who haven't done the research, who don't know a lot, and then they just go in there and they like, well, I heard.
To each his own. But I will, like Donnell said earlier, if you don't vote, whatever the outcome may be, you have no right to say whatever it is because your voice was not heard. You didn't try to make your voice heard in voting. So take the opportunity if you still got time. make sure you get yourself in line. Like I said, I know a lot of polls say, if you are in line by 7:30, then you can vote. No matter how long the line is, so long as you are in line by 7:30. So 7:30, whatever your time frame is, make sure y'all get in line if you haven't had an opportunity to do so by now. So make sure y'all go ahead and take care of that. But let's go ahead and get into question of the week for tonight. We got question of the week, ladies and gentlemen. This is your opportunity to ask us fellas anything y'all want to, and we will give you our opinions, our thoughts, and whatever it may be based on your questions. We will answer whether it's relationship based, whether it's business based, whether it's child based, whatever the case may be. You submit your questions into us at info@re-tv.net. You guys should send in y'all video questions. Send in your video questions to info@re-tv.net. Video questions meaning record yourself, send them in. We'll actually play them here on air and answer your question, so that way you can get our personal opinion on whatever it is or answer to your question that you actually send in. But you can also text them in too as well, which is what we got tonight. We got a question tonight that's pretty much going off family or work is this question. All right. So the person says, I've been married for about 15 years with no kids. We tried everything from orthodox to herbal and even tried IVF, and they all failed. Y'all I'm trying to edit some of this because literally if y'all see the way this person wrote this, y'all be like, what in the world? So we finally gave up. Recently, I was promoted at work. I was given a salary raise, new car and apartment. Just recently, I was cooking in the kitchen and felt dizzy. I brushed it off. Recently, I started feeling some way, so I bought a pregnancy test and it was positive. Now that I've been promoted and don't need it, if the company finds out that then I will lose my promotion. I have not told my husband yet, because if this man finds out, he will make sure I stay home and not stress because my work is demanding. This is the promotion I've been working towards for 5 years. I'm confused. Should I abort it without telling my husband, or should I keep it and lose the promotion? Family or work? This lady wants to know, should she go about aborting her child, in which she's been trying to have? Apparently her and her husband have been
15 years
for quite some time. Now they say they've been married for 15 years with no kids. They don't say how long she's been actually trying.
Okay.
But they've been married for 15 years, and it just said they tried everything orthodox from herbal to even IVF. But now she found out she's pregnant. I'm assuming she must have got pregnant the old-fashioned way, the good old natural way. He was banging that thing out. I'm assuming. I don't know. It just says she tried a little bit of everything. Got pregnant. She got the promotion. She got everything that she's been working for her job. But now that she got all that stuff, if the job finds out she's pregnant, she can lose all of the promotion. She can lose all the stuff that she worked for. But at the same time, she's been working for trying to have this baby as well. Should she abort it and not tell her husband, which I'm confused about, or should she go about having a baby and living her life? She said she's not going to tell her husband, because if her husband find out that she's pregnant, then he's going to make her sit down and chill out, because his priority is the baby.
So normally I come up with a bunch of stuff, and then y'all still have to ask me what the answer is at the end of it. I'm just going to give you the answer straight up. Take the family. Have the baby, because you can have other jobs. You don't know if you're going to have other babies. You've been trying this long. And, things will come up. Things will happen job-wise, work-wise, that you don't even know, you don't even expect. But if you've been having trouble having a baby for a long time, and now all of a sudden you have one or have the opportunity to have a baby, go on and take that opportunity. Because one, it doesn't match. It's like what they say, having a bird in the hand, it beats two in the bush. Yeah, that's what it is. You have one in the hand, don't give it up for your work. Don't.
I got a real unpopular opinion on this.
Okay.
I say probably very unpopular opinion, and I don't believe in this necessarily, but I think she should just go ahead and not have a baby and not have a marriage, because That
Wait. You said not have the baby,
Not have the marriage
not have the
either?
marriage?
Yep, but get rid of all of it
Get rid of both?
because if that is a decision that she's trying to make right now, like then she's not in it for the marriage either. You know what I'm saying? It's all problematic. The whole thing is problematic. Like because at one point it sounded like maybe she was in for the marriage and for the baby. You know what I'm saying? And now work has trumped all of that. And if that's going to be the case, then no good is going to come from bringing this baby into the world because she's going to regret it. She's going to look at the baby and say, I gave up my work for this baby.
Whoa.
Or she's going to regret her husband. And ain't none of that going to work out. Like it just it sounds like she doesn't want to be in this relationship anymore. It sounds like this relationship is not priority. And if we can't prioritize our relationship over, work, school, whatever, like, then what's the point? What's the point?
I ain't think of it that way, John. I honestly did not, because when you was going to it, I was like, wait, she ain't saying all that. But I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. Go ahead, Donnell.
I agree with John. Like that was the first thing that came to my mind when, you know what I'm saying, when you was reading John. I totally agree with John. You know what I mean? Like it sounded like she was never 100% on board with whichever, with having a baby to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she is pregnant and now
think so?
Yeah.
Even if a woman tries which according to her letter, she said she tried IVF, she tried herbal, they tried natural, whatever. That they seem like, to me, for you to be that invested, because IVF is not cheap, from my understanding, and a lot of that stuff is not cheap. So
that just sounded like she was just buying time,
right?
Gotcha.
Or she was interested in it and then decided at some point, you know what, it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna focus on work.
Or when she finally got pregnant, it just came too surreal for her.
Right. But I mean, all of that, the fact that she ain't even telling her husband that she married is off. That's like real off to me.
That was like a red flag to me, number one, because typically that's the first person you tell when you find out you're pregnant. Like,
right.
Because especially to the fact that y'all been trying. You've been trying for however long you've been trying, whether it's 15 years, 5 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the fact is, you've been trying for all this time. And the first person you decide not to tell is your husband because you are thinking about, that's why I said, I didn't think about it that way, John, until you said it, that it makes sense because, right, if the first person you don't tell is your husband, or the first person you're supposed to tell is your husband, you choose not to, and you choose to come up with the decision of, should I continue with my promotion and all the things that I got with my job and not even have a conversation? And it's funny. Do y'all watch? It's funny, but it's not funny. But do y'all watch the Miss Pat show? Come on, it's the BET Plus. Miss Pat's a comedian, and it's actually funny. Y'all, if y'all haven't seen it, you actually get an opportunity to watch it. But so as I was reading this particular letter, I thought of the Miss Pat show because she does an episode where she wasn't trying to get pregnant. She knew damn well she couldn't get pregnant. She was like, I'm too old to get pregnant. My husband too old, this, that, and the third. But she wound up getting pregnant. And she did not immediately tell her husband, but it wasn't because of her job. It was because of the fact that she like, this is my body, my prerogative. I should be able to make whatever decisions I choose to make because this wasn't supposed to happen in the first damn place. So she didn't tell her husband until like later in the episode, and then when he found out, it wound up being a thing in their relationship to the fact that they like was on like really like bad terms because he's like, yo, I should be able to have a say on whether you keep this baby or not. Forget everything else. Let's just talk about the fact of our relationship or our marriage and the fact that I had something to do with you having that baby. Even in never show. I watch a lot of TV, y'all. Do y'all watch New Amsterdam?
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes.
But did you see the episode? I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. So, all right. So in New Amsterdam, there's a black doctor and there's a white nurse, or she's a doctor too. And come to find out, she was confiding in him, like 5 years later, that she had an abortion, right? And so as he's listening to her story, he's putting pieces together, and he's like, "Yo, when did you have this abortion? And she was like, why? It don't matter. He was like, yes, it does, because I really think based on your story that it was my baby. And she was like, and if it was, it's my prerogative, my child, my body. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want to do with my body. Come to find out, it really was his baby. And again, he wound up getting upset because he was like, I should have been involved in the fact of that whole decision making in the first place. So for this chick who's writing this letter, maybe she's feeling like she doesn't have to tell her husband because it's her body. Even though they've been trying together for however long they've been trying, maybe she feel like it's her prerogative and she doesn't have to tell her husband that she was pregnant in the first place because it's her body, her decision to make whether she keeps the baby or chooses her job.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, women can't be having all these goddamn double standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that man hit the $1 billion lottery, guess what she gonna be saying? That's his lottery ticket.
Right.
That's
it's our money. Our money.
Like, I don't understand, like, when people, say stuff like that and
Nicole.
And when they get married, like, there is no your decision. You know what I mean?
Cole just said
it should be your decision. And, like, I get that it's your body, but at the same time, it's like, you knew what you was doing or what could happen, you know what I'm saying, by having sex. Like, come on, man.
And they say to us all the time, to men, damn, I done lost it.
I mean, Dave Chappelle said it. Dave Chappelle had a whole bit about, women getting abortion, but he was like, if women can choose, it's their body, right? They can choose to not have a kid, then we should be able to choose whether we want to pay for it. Like
women always say it took both of us to have this baby.
Right.
You laid down with me, it wasn't just me, but now it is just you.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck out of here.
It's weird that way, man. That's one of the, and I would never tell a woman what to do with her body, but I think that once we get to the point of like creating something together, then we need to be okay with having a conversation about what the end result of that is going to be
together.
Especially if you've been trying for so many years together.
Yeah.
If you've been trying so many years together, all of a sudden you accomplish whatever it is that you've been trying to work at, obviously having this baby. How do you not go to your husband and be like, yo, we finally did it?
But we finally did it, but
I decided not to keep it because I want to keep my job. First off, your job cannot fire you for being pregnant.
Right, it's a protected class. Like Nicole was saying earlier.
It wasn't whether or not she would get fired. It was, whether she got pregnant, she would lose the promotion.
You can't lose that either. If she already got the promotion, what they gonna say? You gotta take it back because you getting fat, like because you got a baby, and like you can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Once you got
maybe she's a exotic stripper.
They got pregnant strip clubs, dog.
Wait. She got a promotion. She
went from the side stage to the main stage. you ain't know? Hey, that's promotion in the strip club. She got
the side room hustle now. the VIP rooms.
Hey, it's somebody's
she's now the main. She's the main event. She's the main event now.
Yeah.
It's somebody's
in the after party.
So have y'all ever been in a situation where you've had to make that decision, not necessarily as far as pregnancy, but you've had to make a decision on whether it's, something versus your family?
Yeah, I did that. And it was, for me, it was a change. It was a shift in the type of work that I was doing, right? Because my job used to, require me to travel during a certain time of year because I did travel admissions work, so I would be on the road. And I decided very early on in my wife's pregnancy that I was not going to continue to do that work because I didn't want to be on the road and away from the family. My new family, you know what I'm saying? I knew, it was like when it was just me and my wife, like she could join me for the travel, come stay at the hotel for free or whatever. But if I was going to be on the road and we had a kid at home, it felt like I was shirking my responsibility by not being there to help raise the kids, right? Or the kid at the time. Like if I was going to be on the road, if I was going to be eating, at hotels and on the company dime, staying in hotel rooms for days and weeks at a time, like it just felt wrong. So I decided to make a change. Now, I mean, it didn't change my trajectory in terms of my work at all, but it was a change that I made, and I consciously made that change because I felt like I needed to for my family and to be there more to support my wife and my kids. So
was that a conversation that y'all had together? Like was that just a decision that you made on your own?
No, I mean I don't think it was not a conversation we had together. It was just something that I felt like I needed to do. And I don't think, I don't think she would have been like, no, keep traveling. And I also don't think she would have been like, I'm so happy that you're not traveling anymore because that's not my wife's way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it needed to happen because I just wanted to be able to be there for my kid. So
you don't feel like she had a right to know that you was deciding you was going to change? No, I'm messing with you. No, I'm messing with you. Donnell, Mike, y'all ever had to make that decision or chose to make that decision? Not necessarily have to make that decision, but chose to make, a decision about anything, like whether it was like this or your family, like I'm going to do this versus,
Well, I mean, I decided that since I was getting married, that I was going to give up all my side chicks. No, I haven't. No. I haven't really come across that one. The had nothing that deep at least.
Got you, Donnell, Mr. Reasonable.
Huh. Yeah, because I used to travel a lot. I used to work 2 full-time jobs. I mean, I feel like if you have a plan, whatever you decide to do, it's okay. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to pay off some debts. I wanted to, see the world on company dime. I had the opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of success stories come with some sacrifices. You know what I mean? And, some of the biggest names that's out here, I'm sure Jeff Bezos, well, he might not have no family members, but I mean kids, but like, I guess Tom Brady would probably be like a perfect example.
That is a perfect example. Yeah.
And look what he lost. He
I mean, but that was the risk that he, what I'm saying? It was it's a gamble.
Right. Same thing with Jeff Bezos though. Divorce.
Oh, okay.
You
know
what I'm
know
saying?
anything about his family.
So that was his situation though? He chose work over his family?
I don't know if he chose it over, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we know what happened with
Tom
Brady.
With Tom Brady. He chose work over his family.
Right.
Divorce. You know what I'm
saying? And ever since he's been divorced, he's been winning. I'm just saying.
He was holding him back.
Prior to that, this season he ain't won a game. Nah, I don't know.
No more spilling his seed. Right.
But you know what I'm saying, Tom Brady leaves behind a legacy on and off the field for his kids.
He does. But all right, so I get you, and I'm not disagreeing with you with that. So in regard to Tom Brady's situation, right, he does leave a legacy, but does the appearance or the legacy he leaves to his children say, all right, make sure you choose your career over your family, or is it choose your happiness over? I mean, because we really don't know why Tom chose to stay with football, other than the fact that he loves football.
I think a lot of people might not want to hear it, but you know what I'm saying. I am a firm believer of, you are in control of your own happiness. You know what I mean? Like if he would have been miserable at home being a family man because that's not his thing, then you know what I'm saying. Like I understand why that would be a not so good thing, but I also understand how it could be a good thing for him. Like, he can't be miserable and be happy for everybody else.
Right. And I feel like, I mean, not to delve into their situation or anything, but she's a model. She should understand the same concept applies to athletes. There's a short shelf life. You have to make it for what it is right now, because at a certain age, you're not going to be able to do it anymore. And that age is usually younger than the rest of America. Your retirement ages for athletes and models is a lot shorter than.
But from my understanding, I think that was the issue. She felt like she did give up her career for the family and for him.
Right. And he passed his shelf life anyway.
He has. Yeah, but he still ain't going but so far. I mean, he ain't going to be 50 and still playing.
But think about this, Mike. Like, if you had to, let's say your wife, any of you guys, let's say your wives did a job that was like physically intensive, and they came home beaten and bruised all the time from work. Let's say they were boxers, right? Okay. Like, at some point, you can look at your wife and be like, "Damn, babe. I mean, you've been doing this for umpteen years. Like, you done had your eyes swole up this many times. Like, you limping around. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick up the kids or whatever. Like, I think it's time to give it up." And that's the same kind of thing that I think she was going through. Like, she looking at him. He tired. He beat up. You know what I'm saying? He ain't recovering the way he used to when he was younger. Like, she probably was like, "Yo, give it up. Like, you done. You passed your prime," and he ain't want to hear that.
And the fact that he got kids. I mean, right. But at the same time, as we just told the lady who wrote this, question of the week, is it her? Is it his prerogative or is it her prerogative to make that decision, or is it something that you have to wind up discussing with your spouse? Because are you choosing your? Sorry, I'm looking at
Warnock is getting his butt kicked right now.
Is right, and McMaster wins re-election in South Carolina as well.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think what really happens, and a lot of times, at least in some of my experiences, like, even though you had that talk, man, like, people change, and it's what I'm saying, like, it's like it's really hard to be on board, especially if they not fully. If they, don't really fully agree to begin with, and then they might just say yes or no just for the sake of making the other person happy in that moment. Like, yeah, bro, relationships are
they are.
They not for the weak at heart. They are not for the marriages, and not for the weak at heart. Relationships you can just come and go as you. They're not easy. They're not easy. Would you say, John?
Westmore they are calling it for Westmore in Maryland as the governor.
Interesting. So your boy is out.
Who?
Who's y'all's governor? Wasn't it
I forget his name.
I don't live in Maryland.
Hogan. Yeah, Hogan. Well, Hogan is out. He wasn't running.
Oh, he wasn't. I don't know. I ain't in Maryland, so I don't know what's going on.
The fact that we got a Democratic governor is a big deal, because he was a Republican.
Now, I didn't know how many terms he had down there. So honestly, that's what I'm saying. I don't live in Maryland. I ain't kept up with Maryland stuff, so I don't know how many terms he'd had. So to be honest with you, but that's that's interesting. Well, I mean, it's a lot of election results coming out tonight. Yeah. But right quick before we get back into that, because we getting ready to wrap up the show. So to answer this lady's question, her question was, where did it go? Her question was, all right, should she abort without telling her husband, or should she keep it and lose her promotion? What say y'all last?
She used to say she gonna go get a pack of cigarettes and never come back.
Right. Be out. Go ahead, keep your job. Go ahead, keep your promotion. Let the kid and the marriage go. I think.
Do the family thing.
I will say John has changed my mind. John has changed my mind. I did not think about that situation, the way that he has presented it. And I will say you are not thinking about a marriage or a relationship. So not that I'm, for aborting any children. However, you ain't in the right mindset. So do what you got to do. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day. I think that's what we're pretty much saying about the whole Tom Brady situation. Yeah. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Right. Because you are, like Donnell said, you are responsible for your own happiness.
Discuss it with your damn husband.
Because all she gonna have is regrets at the end. Regrets.
That you can't take back.
Right.
You got regrets. You can't even get covered up. Exactly. Yeah. But I will say this though. Let that man know. Let them be like, you know what?
Yes.
I'm out. And let him know why you out. I'm out because I ain't ready for what we discussed. Like Donnell said, she changed, and just let him know I changed and I ain't ready no more. Plain and simple. That's what I say. I changed and I ain't ready no more, so I'm out. I'm going to mind my business. Mike, what did you smelling? I found a rapper.
Yeah. So I was
smelling his finger.
Well, y'all know what I was doing this morning.
That's how you know become a man.
Y'all stupid. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have chose to be anyway, but y'all chose to be with us here on a Tuesday night. As y'all can see, we talk about a little bit of everything, but we keep it real. This is y'all sneak peek inside the doors of a man cave, Millionaire Man Cave, Relationship Entertainment Television, RETV. We catch y'all next week, same place, same time. We out, y'all. Go do your civic duty and go vote. We out. Peace.